One Michael Leslie still out there in California. You know what I think is crazy is how it's your first show in California, and yet you haven't been cut off once. Yet, me on the show Friday, that was Thursday. I couldn't get
and Friday, technically, because the internet cut you off on Friday.
You don't even have a tree, and you still get to talk at will.
So
okay, so what had happened?
Yes. Yes, Kelly for the win.
So what happened was,
that's so good.
Oh, I just cut you off. I didn't actually say anything.
Yeah.
I just made random noises to cut you off.
Oh, I missed it. Sorry.
I showed my youngest Sam, who's 4, the video that we put together of everybody stealing Michelle's thunder, and she says to me, "Oh, they can't take Michelle's rainstorms, or she won't have any rainbows."
Sam is the only reason I can go on.
Sam is your biggest fan.
Like that song, and I will. What is it? Go on, the Titanic.
Oh, we're gonna get Michelle singing on this show. Okay.
No, because I tried.
My heart will go
on.
Well, keep
Sam
going.
is the only reason my heart will go on.
Did you just go Titanic on us?
She did.
I did. I did. Speaking
Sam
of
would
going
also
on,
100% push you off the door.
There was room, by the way.
speaking of going on,
CeeDee Lamb would make room for you on the door.
no, he would not. No, he would not. I can guarantee you that much. But he would make room for George Pickens because those
would
two
make room for George Pickens.
are besties. And speaking of besties, we just talked about this a little bit, but Kenny Clark, Quentin Williams have seemed to have hit it off. There have been a number of guys on this defensive side of the ball that seem to be really meshing. And again, like last season, communication being one of the big cruxes of this defensive unit. I think that is just, even through 3 practices, in such a better spot than it was this time a year ago. The roster, just talent-wise, is better than it was a year ago, holistically. But, Mike, as we said, this is going to be the first day where we actually see some of these defenders get the chance to lay the boom down. And I think that in and of itself presents a little bit more of excitement when it comes to getting to watch practice. But with that in mind, what will be kind of the key thing that you're keeping an eye out for today?
One of the ones that came to mind that we didn't talk about during midday is the linebacker play. I'd love to see a little bit more of, you mentioned Jayshon Barham earlier, but certainly Overshown and D. Winters and everything that they can bring to the table in the linebacking core, which was candidly so bad last year. That is such a key area where they can make significant improvement in this 2026 season. I want to see what those guys look like. I want to see how they work together. I want to see how DeMarvion Overshown continues to ascend into what we think anyway is going to be the green dot. I know that they're working other guys into that space as well, but the story from last week that they specifically threw a curveball at Overshown to see if he would figure out what to do and basically mocked. The fact that they basically mocked out a scenario where the communication system between the defensive coordinator and Overshown went out and he had to figure out what to do on the fly, determine what the call should have been, get them in the right look. And they said he handled like it was nothing. That's really, really encouraging. It's one instance in one practice, but it's an encouraging data point as they continue through this process and try and get him ready to take that role if it is indeed going to be him. And again, that's not decided at this point, but he does seem like the most logical option, at least in my head, for who that should be. So that the linebacking core in general, but Overshown in particular, is somebody that is definitely worth watching because he can be a huge part of why this defense is better this year.
We talked to him after practice, I guess it was on Saturday, and he jokingly said, hey, we're playing middle linebacker, I'm going to be averaging 10 tackles a game. And, I mean, of course, it's him. He said it with a smile. He says everything with a smile. But he makes a legitimate point. I mean, he's him in that position and kind of taking on a different role in Christian Parker's defense. I'm excited to see that. I also am really excited to see, I know a lot of attention has been put on Caleb Downs. He's obviously the first pick for the Cowboys in this draft, going to a unit that needs significant help, right? But I've been really impressed with Darian Kendrick. He's made some plays all over the field.
Yeah.
There are other corners who are competing for what I would suggest is kind of, I'm not going to say it's open spots. Deron Bland is the veteran in that room. He said he feels healthy for the first time really since having surgery on the foot that's kind of plagued him on these last couple seasons. And if he can get back to being that like pick six, really opportunistic corner, the Cowboys are in good shape there. They have a really athletic and smart corner in Caleb Downs, but I think that there's real opportunity from the secondary and the defensive backs unit as well. And from everything we've seen right out of Downs so far, and the fact that he's going against an all-pro receiver every day in practice in CeeDee Lamb is only going to make him better, which is really scary for the rest of the league. But at the same time, he's a rookie, and there are just going to be times where he's playing against the best players in the country that have experience unlike anything he's gone up against in his non-existent NFL career so far. So I'm really, really excited to see not just him, but some of these other guys try to take advantage of what looks to be at this point really quite a big opportunity from a secondary standpoint.
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, there is basically 2 spots maybe that are legitimately spoken for in the secondary. I think Deron Bland is going to be a starting corner. I'm fairly certain that Caleb Downs is going to be your starting nickel. Other than that, it is open season for these guys to compete for those other 3 roles and figure out who's going to be where. I mean, obviously Malik Hooker is kind of your incumbent at one of the safety spots. Jalen Thompson probably at the other one, but I don't think any of that is gospel. I don't think any of that is things that can't be turned over the course of the next month. Kobe Durant maybe is your other starting corner, but to your point, Michelle, earlier, Darian Kendrick has made a bunch of plays. He had a terrific diving play over the middle during Saturday's practice that was outstanding. You've got young talent in Savone Revel and Kalen Carson that can do good things and that certainly have an opportunity to make their voices heard over the course of this month. I think it's wide open in that secondary, and it's probably a good thing for all of them because that competition is going to elevate all of them.
Yeah, Kobe Durant was one of the starters, and I think it was Friday's practice. As far as corners go, it was Deron Bland, Caleb Downs, and Kobe Durant as your starting corners, with Caleb playing nickel, and then you had Malik Hooker and Jalen Thompson as your starting safeties. All of them obviously playing for a former secondary defensive backs coach and now defensive coordinator Christian Parker, who has been known to love the trash talk.
A little chirpy.
And CeeDee Lamb spoke about how much he's enjoyed that so far this camp. That would be Talk
about every day, every single day. But it's obviously, he's a great guy. He's a competitor. At the end of the day, he's on the defensive side of the ball. So you love that energy, and then you can see it transfers into his players. D-line's going crazy, linebackers yelling, safeties yelling. It's a lot of chaos over there. But at the end of the day, there's one way to shut them all up: bomb them.
What kind of trash talk have you hit him with?
Huh?
What kind of trash talk have you hit him with?
Depends on what he come at me with or my room. So we go hand in hand every day. So different days, new vibe. You never know what CP you're gonna get. Or I might initiate it. I ain't gonna even act like I'm just innocent. So.
Of course he's not innocent. CeeDee Lamb loves trash talk but just as much as anybody in this league. Come on.
Yeah, no, that was a good moment of candor from CD. I also can imagine that the Cowboys defense is probably sitting there listening to CP3 trash talking. I'm sorry, Christian Parker trash talking.
Chris Paul's on with the Cowboys now.
I basically just kind of smashed together GP3 and Christian Parker and made them Chris Paul. Wow. I can imagine the Cowboys secondary listening to Christian Parker talking trash to the Cowboys wide receivers and go, bro, it's hard enough already. Would you stop it?
Stop it.
No kidding. No, I mean, it is fun. Something else really fun to watch is just the relationship between GP and CD and 3 and CP, other DBT, and all of them together. This was CeeDee Lamb. This is CeeDee Lamb talking about his relationship with George Pickens. That's 23, Kelly.
We spent a lot of the offseason together, honestly. So everything that you saw last year, we're gonna build off of that. And God willing, I'm healthier the whole year, and then we're gonna see what happens from there.
And just talk about rooting for each other. I mean, you want him to be great.
Yeah, come on now.
Yeah, just
come on. Yeah, I'm bro's biggest fan. Honestly, if you can't tell about my first game, I got hurt. The next game after was Green Bay, and I was excited about the takeoff of GP, and that was when he caught the gold ball, and then the rest is history. So like as for him, man, I always want him to win. I'm his biggest fan. I tell him this all the time. He's real fire. He's elite at what he does, and it's good to see. I'm happy to have him on my team, and vice versa. I'm sure he is too.
Stamp of approval. He's real fire.
No, I mean, it's the fact that these two could be the guy on any team.
Yeah.
They are the guy on this team. But to have to share that spotlight, like, you don't necessarily see a lot of rosters where there's two number ones. Like, you look at a Jamar Chase, he's the guy. You look at a Justin Jefferson, he's the guy. The fact that you have two superstars with, mind you, pretty big personalities, and there's a genuine want for success for the other, I really do think that's rare.
Having those two gel, I think, is really, really important, especially with the talent that they have. They're both, the talent-wise, are both top 10 receivers in the NFL. And so, I mean, when you have both the competition of one wanting to outdo the other, but then the genuine want for each other to do well, that will serve very well for their offense.